Sunderland drop points. Yes, it's possible. Sunderland can drop points because at the minute it feels like they've been winning every single game with ease, but not today. A 1-1 draw is what we had to settle for at this stage of life, but luckily for us, as we'll talk in a minute, results went in our favour. So while it might feel like 2 points dropped, the reality is we're kind of at the status quo we were at before kickoff. To the game itself, Sunderland went to 4 at the back. They played 3 at the back midweek against Accrington, and it worked pretty well. 4 at the back today. I'm not sure if that was necessarily what was needed. I think there was maybe question marks over the team selection and substitutions throughout the game, but we'll get onto that as well. But I expected us to kind of line up in the way we did at the end of the Accrington Stanley game. I thought Ross Stewart would start, so I was surprised he wasn't going to be on there. I thought we might go 2 up front and kind of play kind of a 3-5-2 or 3, I don't know what you want to call it, 3 football tactics. Just basically play with Stewart and Wyke and then have Gooch and McGeady on the wing. And then line up as a 3 at the back and a 4. That was kind of what I expected. We'll go through the match now. We took the lead in the first half through Callum McFadzean, a player who has been lamented by most fans as being pretty naff. But he wasn't naff with his header today. A great cross by Max Power on the right side, and McFadzean with a brilliant header into the bottom corner. And it was a good goal. Not sure if it was necessarily deserved at the time. It wasn't much in the game in the first half. I think both sides maybe had one chance in the first half, and then we scored with our second. But we were pegged back with Lincoln's first real chance of the game. And I think this is probably one of the first times we've seen Loco 9 look vulnerable at centre back. He sort of lost his battle with Callum Morton, which he probably should have won. You would expect a centre back to win that one, but he lost it, and Morton finished it well, put it past Lee Burge. We were at 1-1. Lincoln's first chance of the game, first chance of the second half, and it was a disappointing one to concede, but it is what it is. We had plenty of time, about half an hour to get back and put ourselves back in the lead, but we struggled for stretches in the second half. I think this probably showed us at our weakest, our most vulnerable. I don't think we had the cutting edge that we've had in recent games. That was disappointing to see. But the important thing was that we kind of dug in, and we still did create chances. We still had the ball in the final third quite a lot. There was just a lack of real, I don't know if it was movement or if the balls in the box weren't necessarily of the same quality, but we struggled to put our stamp on the game in the second half. But you've got to say credit to both sides. They both did go for it towards the end. It was a bit of a basketball game in added time, and fair play. Lee Johnson wants to win. And it must be Mike Lapton wanting to win as well, because both teams really did go for it. But a 1-1 draw, I think it was probably a fair result. I think if any side deserved to win it, it would probably be us. I think we were slightly better. I mean, statistically, we were better. We had twice as many shots on target, more possession. The statistics were certainly in our favour. But I think if you watch the game on balance, I don't think we necessarily did enough to win it. It's not like there was any gilt-edge chances that we missed. The other thing worth noting for the game, and to be honest, I make a point of not really talking about referees on this, but the referee today just seemed very Mike Dean-esque. He wanted to be the centre of attention. There was a few very questionable decisions. Charlie Wyke, it's a 80% a penalty. I've seen them not given, but that should be given. He is fouled in the box. That was blatant. For me, should have been a penalty. Other things as well. Aidan McGeady got done for a handball as he was running in one-on-one, and I saw the replay back, and I didn't see a handball in there. It looked like it hit him sort of in the chest, stomach area. I was disappointed there. McGeady, of course, was as well. He gave the referee an earful. And I think the referee, there was the fannying around with the corners and checking if they were on the spot, and just really, really pedantic refereeing, but also not great refereeing, not clear and efficient refereeing. I just didn't think the referee had a good game, and it clearly not a good referee, because there wasn't much in the game today, and the simple decisions he had to make, in my opinion, he got wrong. But hey, football's opinions. Another referee might tell us that I'm wrong, and that's fine. But results elsewhere did go in our favour. Certainly in our favour in the sense that we dropped points and everybody else did drop points. Peterborough blew a 2-goal lead against Rochdale of all teams. We're 3-2 down. Rochdale scored in the 87th and in the 90th minute to go from 2-0 down to 3-2. Then Peterborough bowled it to 3-3 in added time. So make of that what you will. I'm sure Peterborough will be pretty disappointed dropping points against Rochdale. We beat them the other week 2-0. I mean, I thought Rochdale were actually decent that day, so maybe they're better than what the league position suggests, but Peterborough will be foaming with that, and they should be, because you don't want to be dropping points against teams like Rochdale. And Hull drew 1-1 away at Shrewsbury. They were trailing in that game, brought it back, and picked up a point away from home. Shrewsbury, we lost there the other week, to be fair. But I think today, of the 3 games that everyone was playing, Shrewsbury are a team towards the bottom of the league, Rochdale are towards the bottom of the league, and we were playing fourth, and we all matched each other's results, and you can't really ask for much more than that. I think Peterborough and Hull will be the more disappointed sides coming out of today's results, and it's as you were at the top of the league because everyone drew. And from my calculations for what I've determined, I want Sunderland to pick up this season. That means we need 7 wins and 2 draws. That means we can afford to lose 2 matches as well. And I don't think that's insurmountable. I don't think that's, I think Sunderland could win 7 from 11. I don't think that seems unrealistic. The final things, talking points from the game. Aidan McGeady, that was the first one I wanted to look at today. I didn't think he played his best game. Moments of quality for sure. That was the ball he played for Charlie Wyke, and the keeper gathered it in the second half. But I don't think he's got that spark that maybe he had a few weeks ago. Is it time you just give him a match off? I'm not saying it's necessarily dropping him, just literally, plug in Chris Maguire in that spot when Chris Maguire can do a job. Give Aidan McGeady a rest. That seems to be potentially a logical thing to do. And having a week before our next game, which I'll just double check now, is against Bristol Rovers away. Oh, Joey Barnside. Having a week though between these 2 games, that could be big for Sunderland, because I think today we saw that potentially it's time to move Luke O'Nien out of centre back if we can. He's been absolutely superb at the back there since he's came in, but he's not a centre back, and we've been kind of plugging that gap with a square peg in a round hole. He's done a great job at doing it, but it would be nice to see a centre back go in there. I think today we probably wouldn't have conceded that goal had Bailey Wright be playing. So hopefully this week off will give us a chance to get some defenders back in. And Luke O'Nien, he's done a fine job, and I wouldn't have a problem with him going there to the end of the season. This isn't really a criticism of him. I just think you kind of saw today the importance of having players playing in the right position. We've continually had to put players in the wrong position over the last few weeks, and we have been able to pull it off. But I think Luke O'Nien moving out of centre back and maybe putting him in a different position could benefit us more as a team. Substitutions. Did Lee Johnson get his substitutions right today? And I've been a big fan of his substitutions, and I think today largely he was positive with them. He brought on Ross Stewart for, I think, Grant Ledbetter was the change that he made for that one. So he did bring on a striker for a midfielder, but I just thought Carl Winchester was having a pretty good game, and to switch Winchester with Scowen, that didn't make sense to me. I think Winchester and Scowen complemented each other when we saw them play together early in the season. I would have made that change. I would have brought Ledbetter off for Josh Scowen and had Scowen and Winchester in the middle of the park there. But that's nitpicking, really. I didn't think Ledbetter had a great game today. So maybe that was just because I didn't think he was playing well, so I thought he should be brought off. But that would have been the one change I'd make. Maybe even bringing Jack Diamond on towards the end for Aidan McGeady just to stretch the game. It was very, very end-to-end. Maybe that could have benefited us. Potentially even take Charlie White off because he was on a booking as well. There's a final point I'd make today. It's important that Sunderland fans don't panic. I don't think anyone is panicking from this one, but we've been on such a roll recently, and there's been so much positivity around the football club that you can't win every game. Sometimes you've got to settle for a draw, and a draw against 4th in the league isn't really a bad result. I think we all came in very positive today, thinking we were going to win, and that's fine. That's great to have that positivity, but sometimes you don't get them results. And today is just one of them occasions where we weren't able to see it through, and that happens. We just got to make sure we bounce back next week against Bristol Rovers. So we've got a rare week off, no game on Tuesday night, which is nice. Actually, it's not nice really, because I really, really miss the football on a Tuesday when it's not on. Looking forward to the Barbers opening. So we've got a rare week off coming up. That's a great time for Sunderland to recalibrate and just think about exactly where we're going at the minute, and tweak things and get players back and let players work off injuries. And for me, it's a week where I don't have a game to review on a Tuesday, so I'll probably create something else midweek to fill that void. So thanks for watching today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please like the video, and please have a good week.